have this posted on our website, so you'll be able to hear more if there's something that you missed. So with that, Rhonda, are you going first? I'll pass the microphone to you. Or is it Katrina?
Yep. I think either one of us probably is fine. Well, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Taking what's left of some of your summer just to hang out with us for a little bit and see what we've been working on. It's definitely been an adventure. I've learned so much, and we're just thankful to have had the opportunity. My name is Rhonda Evett. I've been a respiratory therapist for about 30 years, and I've been in the classroom going on my 8th year. I've taught 4 different preps, the clinical studies, anatomy and physiology, health science 1, 2, and midterm. I'm a little bit of an anatomy geek, so I had a blast doing the anatomy section and having a lot of fun activities. We've put this together to, for you. And that was one thing that we clung to in the very beginning, was that we wanted everyone to know it was created by teachers for teachers. And we have taken things that we've used in the classroom and shared it and modified it and made it to where you can edit it, use it digitally, use it in print. And we're excited to get to show a lot of it to you. I live in South Carolina. I have 2 children. I have a grandson that's 7, and I have a very, very loud blue tick coonhound, which is outside right now. So I'm going to let my partner do her magic. It has been such oh my gosh, me and Katrina have had so much fun. There's been some stress, but there's also been a lot of fun times. And before I let her do her introduction, I do want to say we didn't do this alone at all. Yeah, we put it to paper, to computer, we created it, but we had so many people supporting us, an army of people. Our friends, our families, Nancy, our state leader, Angel Clark, we had Karen Edwards, Deborah Tush, that did a lot of our content review for us. We had several publishers and curriculum specialists, AES, Health Center 21, I see Jim's here. We had Cengage Learning, KenHub, we had Pearson, and the CDC. We had so many people very generously allow for us to use their content. So we hope that it helps you a lot, and I'm going to shut up and let Katrina go.
Okay, so I'm Katrina, and let's just go ahead and dive into it. I want to start out by saying we had no idea COVID-19 was going to do this when we started, but Rhonda and I both, don't we all wish we could have seen that one coming, right? But when Rhonda and I started talking about our proposal, because we didn't automatically get the pleasure of doing this, there were some other submissions as well, but Rhonda and I said we wanted to make ours different because we felt like it needed to have technology infusion to it, because more and more teachers are really not having a choice to include technology in their classroom. Not everybody, raise your hand. Do you have time to learn lots of new technology? Because I want to know who you are, because you're going to be right in the next version of this. No hands yet? No. Okay, so let's get going. All right, so I'm going to share some of the things that I wrote, and Rhonda's going to share some of the things that she wrote. First, I want to make sure, Nancy, would you please keep us on track? And if I am talking too long, please just butt in. Or if there's questions from the chat, guys, please drop your questions in the chat, and Nancy or Rhonda will answer them. So please butt in, Nancy, if I keep going too long. Okay. All right. So, and who's had enough of Zoom? Who's excited to be on one more Zoom call? Okay, so let's start with one of my favorite activities, and that is augmented reality. Okay, so don't freak out. Don't automatically say, no way, I don't want to do this. Okay, so augmented reality is when you're looking at a device and you can see reality, but something else is added in on top of your surroundings. Okay. Got me so far? All right, so this is really cool. In Google Expeditions, there are already, because Katrina don't have time to do this, there are already tours of the human body. And maybe some of you have done that, and that's awesome. You're way ahead of the game and you get extra credit. But if you're looking for an activity that you can use in distance learning and in the classroom, this is awesome. Okay, so I've put in really simple directions, and I test drove this with my non-techie sister, who I asked her to do this with my niece, and it passed their test. So I promise you can do this too. Okay, so like I said, these you will find in the enhancements. It'll give you 2 YouTube videos to look at just to get an overview. And y'all, I took screenshots off of my own phone so that you would see exactly what it looked like. And I'm just going to scroll through really quickly so that you get an idea. I'm not expecting you to absorb all of this. So you start by downloading the Google Expeditions app, and you can do that on your phone. If your kids don't have a device, I promise you they probably have a phone, right? So they could do this on their phone. They download the app, okay? Then if you're in a classroom, you could print out the markers. That's another file that's already in there. And then you put them up around in your room, okay? Or you could use a digital picture for the students who are distance learning, okay? Now here comes the really cool part. Are you ready? Okay, so in the app, you can search for the experience, is what they call it. Make sure that you've selected AR for augmented reality. And here is where I picked the auditory system. Okay, so then you're going to click it open and select view in AR. This is what you do and the students do. Okay. All right. Check this out. This is my really messy desk at my home. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like when you open up your phone inside the app after you pick the experience. You're going to point your device at one of those markers. You're going to see the white dots, and then you're going to tap that, and then check this out. Then you're going to see this 3D image on top of your surroundings. That's why they call it augmented reality. Cool, huh? Okay, but what the students can do is they can walk around it, like walk around the marker, and they'll see it in 3D. Okay, so here's the rest of that image that they would see for this particular experience. Okay, and there's just some tips, but here's another one. This is the skeletal system, and they can manipulate those images and see them in 3D. Isn't that cool? And that costs you $0. Who likes free? Me? Okay, so all right, so I'll close that one. Now I was just going to open real quickly the expedition file just so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so that's a whole page, and you just literally put those up around in your room. You have the students select the right experience, and that's really all you have to do. And if you are worried about looking like you don't know what's going on with technology to your students, that wouldn't be anybody, right? Students will figure this out way faster than you will, I promise. They're Snapchatting, they're doing all this other stuff. They will love this. My sister loved this.
Katrina, we had a
Yes.
question, would this work with Chromebooks?
I am told that this will work. You just have to have the camera function. You just have to be able to point the camera at it. But definitely students could use their own phones if you had any issues with the Chromebooks. If you have a technology person at your school or in your district, I am sure that you could shoot them an email and they could give you some other instructions. It should
Katrina,
work. Yeah.
they don't have to be printed in color, do they?
I don't think so.
The markers, I don't think they do either, because they're like, it's a QR. So that question came up, and anyway, I just wanted to ask you real quick.
Okay.
And
Carry on.
the way to do it without printing it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, there is. You just, if I pulled this picture up on my screen like I am right now and use my phone or my other device, I could literally pull it up on this device, pointing it at an image on another device.
And there's a question is, if they're at home, how do they get the markers?
You could email them this file and they could literally hold their phone over it. So they don't have to print it out. But I promise it's in the instructions, and the YouTube video will help a lot that's linked there, because you can learn how to do anything off of YouTube. And also, there's a section that I've included in there for virtual reality, and that's where you would take a device and it would, like, inside the body, it would, the whole screen would be gone and would be an immersive experience. But like I said, there's so many cool things that we've simplified for you so you don't have to figure it out, that I'm just gonna go ahead and skip on to some of the other things that we pulled up. So I'm sorry for going fast, but we're just so excited about all the things that we were able to include. And so when you download the enhancements, there's a section on classroom help files, and we have added some blank classroom objective digital templates. So this is an example that you'll download this file. It's a PowerPoint file, and you would insert a picture of you in the corner. It has a template for how to write the learning target. I know you guys all know how to do that, but that's just kind of a little cheat sheet thing for you. Like I said, this is just something to help give you, a place to start. That's what I teach virtual school, and this is what we call our landing slides. And the first slide that we use in it's what we call synchronous learning, when all the students are together in a session. This is usually the first slide I use before the following slides that have my activities and stuff like that. Okay, so, all right. So one of the next things we added is I think it's called a technical article dissection tool. It doesn't really matter what you call it. It's called a graphic organizer. And this is good for those students who say you want them to write a summary of an article they've written. Current events is what we call it. So, you have students who just don't know how to put together their thoughts. This is a template that you could start out with. They call it gradual release, when you help students do something and then you let them try it on their own little by little. So this helps them figure out how to write a summary of a current event article. So, like, the left side explains it. The middle is just literally, they go say they were reading an article about COVID-19. This article is about not just COVID-19, but disease rates in South Carolina, because people are dying. The research was done by DHEC and the CDC, whatever. So they can go down the middle row and it gives them writing prompts. And then they finish with the far right row. So they can take what they've already filled in the blanks and then make it into a more complete sentence. And then you can either let them turn in their article on the far right side, start with that, and then maybe later let them use that as a guide and they turn in their finished article. And we also included a rubric for that, because you wish you had time to teach students how to write, but your time is very valuable, and this is an easy way to help them out with that. Okay. Okay, so we also included, I don't know if any of you have heard of book snaps before. That's something that's really popular in the education world, and I did a disciplinary literacy thing at the National article. But guys, this is another technology thing that you don't have to figure out because your students already know how to Snapchat, right? Okay, so this is in the file and it literally helps students do visual flashcards by using Snapchat. They can take a picture of your textbook, add their Bitmoji, which you know is the kids know what that is. It's okay if you don't, but they can insert a picture of themselves or a picture from the text or anything. They take a picture and then they add text, they layer text and graphics onto it, and it helps them remember that vocabulary word by all the crazy things that they do with it. I'm just going to scroll down a little bit more. Here's a good one for nosocomial infection. They've taken a picture of the text from the textbook and then they've added in all these other graphics. If Amy Donaldson is on this call, then she'll recognize these because these were from her students. Okay. So like I said, that is and you could look up a YouTube video on book snaps if you want to read some more about it. Tara, forgot her last name, is the teacher that started doing that. But that is definitely a way you can make that vocabulary stuff, make it so much easier and more engaging for the students. And you don't have to do that because you can take the pictures that they made. You can either print them out and post them around the room, or you can post them in the classroom, like your digital classroom, and it just makes it a lot easier for them. Like here's somebody I think who's English as a second language, and they put their own word for what infection was on there. There's so many ways that you could do this. Okay, so the next thing I want to show you is a Doodle Note. We've included a Doodle Note template, and Doodle Notes are just what it sounds like. It's note taking where you're allowed and encouraged to doodle on it. So we included one that you could type into. It's a PowerPoint file where I've changed the screen so it's the same size as a piece of paper, and you can change this text and put whatever you want to on it. Okay, but let me show you an example of that. Okay, here's a Doodle Notes that we've already done for you for vital signs. So you would want to use Doodle Notes if you had a student maybe with an accommodation for extra notes, or I'm sure you could think of a lot of examples where a student needs some extra help and you could give them these Doodle Notes to help while you're going over this in class. Or if you just have a bunch of knuckleheaded freshmen who just really don't want to listen and they hate lecture, but they love to draw. So this is called, I think, the Cornell Note version on the side where they can write what they want to on the side. They're already keyed into their 5 types of vital signs. They can draw what they want to here. Here's a prompt, so on and so forth. And then we just put a blank body figure on it where they can just doodle on it and write, like point out where all the pulses are and stuff like that. Okay, so like I said, we have Doodle Notes for you in different sections, usually in the sections that are a little bit more difficult, like length. It's kind of hard to teach length. Okay, I hope I'm not going too fast, but like I said, drop your questions in the chat. Don't judge me for all the icons on my screen. Okay, so we also have made some custom videos, and this is an example of what the outline looks like. When you go into a standard, you'll find a brand new presentation with the standards on it. You'll also find an outline, and this is what the outline looks like. It has the standards word for word, and it has all the activities that we've put together, that we've pulled together from outside sources, and that we've used in our own classrooms. And I just wanted to show you, there is hopefully this will play and come up. If not, I've got it on another screen. Anyway, it has the link embedded in the screen for you where it'll just pull up and let me see. I think I have it on. Here it is. Okay, that's what it looks like. So it's a video that's just real short and it hits the difference between Medicare and Medicaid because you know kids love to see videos a lot more often than they like to hear you talk. And this is also something that you could post in your Google Classroom or whatever else. It's a link. It's saved on the Nishi YouTube page. You won't be able to find it if you just search for it, but the link is there for you because it's really hard to find videos like that that don't have a lot of other stuff in them. Okay, let's see. I wanted to show you that we have upped our activities related to infection control. Obviously, the kids want to talk about COVID-19. Here's an activity on, now I realize this is not in the standards. This is just an extra thing that I threw in. Shift versus drift, or however you want to say it. It is the reason why you need a flu shot every year, is the simple version. But you have the students kind of read an article, share it with one another, and then do a visual representation of the H and the N on a flu virus. And y'all, they don't have to draw an exact flu virus. And then they just talk about how it can change a little bit every year. And then when it changes enough, then it gets a brand new name like H1N1 versus H2N3, that kind of thing. And it's got some information about the movie Contagion, which, y'all, if you showed Contagion in your classroom, is it not what's happened this last year almost? Okay, and also I introduced an activity so you can talk about what is an Epi Curve. And a lot of folks had no clue what an Epi Curve was until people started shouting, flatten the curve, flatten the curve. I can't remember how many times I had to explain that to my husband when he said, why are we trying to flatten the curve? How is this going to stop the virus? And I had to explain to him, it's not stopping it, it's slowing it so it doesn't overwhelm our resources. And we could talk about that all day, couldn't we? Let's see. Rhonda put this together. It's a pathophysiology review choice board. So this would be an example of something digital you could put up. Kind of like a hyperdoc. Sorry, Rhonda, I didn't tell you I was going to pull this up, but it's just a slide where the students can choose which pathway they want to go, and it gives them activities to do. If you've ever heard of a choice board. But if you don't want to get that deep into technology, you don't have to use that. But I just wanted to show you that is a good thing where you just put it out there on your Google Classroom or whatever you use, and you can use that as one assignment for a whole week because they get their choice of how they go through that. Let's see. I'm almost done. I just wanted to show you just really quickly that we pulled in some charts for your medical math. We also pulled in some resources in Spanish as well as English, not because you teach Spanish, but just as an extra help for your students that are English as a second language. And also a good lesson that, you know, sometimes you're going to have patients that speak another language. It's good to have some extra stuff on hand. Let's see. And Rhonda did a standards tracker, which will, if your school is big into tracking mastery for different content markers, then this is something that you can use for that. Okay, did I give you all whiplash?
You didn't, Katrina. I did want to put this question out there. It's in the chat, but maybe you could explain it too. How is the content organized?
I'm actually about to cover that.
Okay, great. Great. Take the
it away.
microphone,
Rhonda. All right. Well, thanks, Katrina. And you know, I wish, I appreciate everything that you did to kind of put all that together for your presentation. I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to navigate things a little bit differently. I'm going to access everything the way that you will see it. So when you download your enhancements, you see here, there's part 1 and there's also a part 2. We split it into a couple of different files. So this is going to be, these were named intentionally so they're easier to navigate. And so I'm going to just go through these first ones just to kind of show you how it's set up. Every single folder, except once you start getting to the standards, has a start here folder. So that is where you're going to find a table of contents and anything that you want to, you know, this is how this table of contents is going to be for the entirety of all of everything in the enhancements. And I've got to minimize my chat. So there's, this is going to show you an outline of how everything's set up. So if I were to, I'm not going to go through any of these, so you can figure those out. But one thing I did is I put more than you can even imagine resources together, and I put them together in categories. Also, as we go through each of the standards, there is a web resources file in the Start Here folders there that have things that are specific to that specific category. So for anatomy example, some of our anatomy units have more content in them than others. And the reason for that is it's not necessary to reinvent the wheel. Every single thing that you see here is a digital website or something that you can use to supplement your anatomy lessons. And there's just an endless array of things. So we put a lot of activities together, with some of them a little more than others. But know that if there's not a lot of activity resources within that file, this is where they are, because there's more here than I could ever do. So we have web resources for health science. And this is just going to be, I mean, like, I know when you see the list, you're going to have a heart attack because there's just so much. And if you're not technology savvy, it's okay. The things that we have added in here are very user friendly. And we also added stuff for teachers and students. And that's going to be the stuff that you and students can use in order to just have some creativity. This one is enormous. There's 5 pages of stuff. Most of them have an explanation with them.
Hey, Rhonda?
Yes.
I think we're only seeing one window and not all of them. We're just seeing the window that has 4 things in it.
All right, how's that?
Still only seeing that one window.
All right, let me stop share and share again.
We have a lot of drag and drop stuff too.
Oh yeah. All right, now can you see this? Yay. Okay, so you can see all of the stuff that I have here for teachers and students to be able to go into. A lot of them are puzzle makers. The students can use those to go in and create a lot of fun games and stuff for their vocabulary words. Hidden message. I've got a lot of encryption stuff in here to make kind of a little digital escape rooms. And anyway, there's just a whole lot of stuff there that you can see. Uh-oh. It stopped sharing again, didn't it? Okay. I'm going to back out to the main enhancements. So here are our general classroom help. This is where you're going to find some of the landing slides that she talked about. Here's the student tracker, tons of Doodle Note templates and things that are the template types of things you can go in and you can make them work for you. This is an editable digital notebook I did. That's a lot of fun. And if you notice, I've already created a master here. There's another one that says blank that's exactly like this. And you can go in and add this, but I've pre-done this with all the stuff sideways and all that. So as you go through this, if you'll notice right here, tab 2 is showing up. And if you were going to put something here in tab
Rhonda,
2.
Still can't see it.
hey, these
Yeah.
still are not showing up. It's only your main screen.
I'm so sorry. I do not know why it
You
is.
have to reshare each time.
And you
when
know
you're
you
going
can't
to-
confuse me.
I know I can't confuse you. I'm so sorry. I think I'm used to going back and forth to through my browser, so it changes with me. Share screen. All right. So this is your digital notebook. So you have your tabs over here that are already pre-done. There's another version that's it's
I'm done.
blank.
We're
Hit the
not
share-
seeing it.
Hit the share button.
I did. I'm sorry. The share screen, click and share.
There you go.
Yay.
Yay. Oh, one of my favorite things. Y'all have to check this
Yeah.
out.
I've already, if you just double click on these, they already have the, they've already formatted, so you can put your own tabs in there. Anything in here has a Word window that you can change. So this is kind of where I was going with it. If you want to add your own content, this is instructions on how to use it. And if you want to keep more slides under tab 2, you're simply going to right click and duplicate this slide. And that way it's going to keep tab 2 forward. There's table of contents. You can, I know a lot of you don't know what a hyperlink is. You can right click to do a hyperlink and tie it to, if I were to do a hyperlink, and you can tie it into a slideshow or a website or whatever. So you choose which slide you want it to go to, and it automatically formats.
You're muted.
Keep in mind also that if you don't have time
Rhonda,
to,
unmute yourself, please.
If you-
Okay, all
there
right.
you go.
There you go.
You can go up to the different tabs, add a page if you want to keep it there. But I've got them all formatted for you. I also did this little sticky thing that you can insert your own text. There's some whiteboards you can just play around with, or you can delete. And here's a fun little prescription pad you can do for test remediation or homework or whatever you want to do. Okay, I'm going to close this. Oh, I'm going to try to open my other file thing and y'all tell me if it shows up. All right, do you see a file? I think I have to go back and share again. I don't like this. I wish I was online. It's not showing up. Are you just still seeing that one file?
Yeah, we're still seeing that.
All right.
Y'all, I think we broke the internet. I think that's
Maybe.
what happened.
Well, like I said,
Enhancements broke the internet.
I am
I
used
told
to.
you it was over 600 files. You finally crashed it.
Okay, so one thing I'll show you very quickly are the assessments folder. Okay, so these are the practice tests that you have for each standard.
Oh my gosh, y'all, this is like almost the best thing in the, I know I keep saying that, but y'all will just love this so much. So much work is already done for you.
I love it. All right, so these, you see that these are all the foundation standard assessments and keys. So you see that here's one that says it's in Word, here's one that's in PDF, and here's one that's in an Excel file. And I did that one just so you could have everything in an Excel for all the multitude of platforms that there are out there. I know you can upload to Google Forms and import quizzes now, but I didn't go into all that. So a couple of the platforms I like to use for assessments are Socrative and Quizzes. So Socrative and Quizzes each have their very own templates that you can download. I've already done it. So if you go into every single practice assessment, it's already labeled and it's already in the right format for you to upload into Socrative. So all 33 of them. Now I will say there's like 3 or 4 that are not in here, and that's because they have a lot of graphs and charts and things like that. So I could not. Do y'all see my screen? I'm back in.
We see it. Where
We
you
see the listing of the assessments.
Okay, good. All right, some of them you can't upload those kinds of things. So, and if you think to yourself, I don't even know how to get started here. Well, that's okay. I have another folder that is, where's my folder? There is a help. There's a how-to video folder that's not showing up on this end, but I'll get her to pull it up in a minute and show it to you. I don't know why it's not showing up here, but I've uploaded several videos in there that walk you through the process of uploading these to those platforms. So a couple of things I'm going to show you that are my favorites. I'm watching the clock. Love the skeletal system stuff. All right, so I clicked on skeletal system, and here's our start here. So this gives you the outline, the table of contents, and on the outline, like she showed you a little while ago, everything that we have in here that goes with it. We have these icons, and there's the printer means you can print it, and then the little group of people means that it's a group activity, and then this means that it's digital. And here's all the web links that you can go for the different things.
We're not with you.
Oh my gosh, you're kidding me. Okay. All right, stop share. Thank you for telling me. With me?
Hey, Rhonda, are you able to share your desktop instead of just a window? Just curious.
Well, that's how I started out.
Okay, it's all good. Keep going.
No, it's fine. Can you see this skeletal outline?
Yes.
Okay, so the little icons here are going to show digital, and some of them you'll see digital and the printer. So you'll be able to see what the actual stuff is. So I'm going to close out of this. I know it's going to, I think I'm going to follow your lead there, Katrina, and try to go from my desktop and see if it will take us there. All right, so I'm so sorry. Share screen, and my desktop's not there.
Well, we're probably close to question time anyway.
I know, but there's so much I want to do. All right. If there's any questions, go ahead and be asking them so I can go ahead and, you know, we can handle that, and then I will be pulling something else up.
Okay,
So,
Rhonda, we had a question I think I can answer. Would this content be supportive of all health science courses and any courses of which you teach the National Health Science Standards? And those standards are on our website, so you can see what's included in the standards. Any courses where the National Health Science Standards are included, this would be perfect content for that. And I think Rhonda and Katrina even said there were parts of this that could be workable in a middle school, like an intro to a health science at the middle school level. Correct, ladies?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, and the great thing about them is that you can actually change them around. You can edit them. I just changed things and went to the web so that I can maybe navigate this a little better. Do y'all see Dropbox?
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
Bad words when I see drop.
Yeah, we came up with our own. All right, so there's a couple of other things I'm going to show you real quick. I'm a little sad I didn't get to go through a few more. Let me show you when we talk about drag and drop. I'm just going to hit the skeletal system real quick. And here's our activities. And drag and drop skeleton. So this is one thing we did, and there's another one that's a lost bones activity. So this shows you, here's the instructions. And here is a way for you to drag and drop where they would just click on this and drag it over. Now I can't do it because this is the Dropbox and you can't edit a Dropbox. I would have to download it to the PowerPoint. But when they click on this in PowerPoint or Google Slides, they can just drag it over to the right place. If you don't have technology, then, well, here's the answer key. But if you don't have technology, here's the outline, and here are the labels that they can cut out, and then they can use them appropriately like that. I'm going to go back out to one of the ones that people don't teach, you know, have a little bit of a struggle teaching is going to be health maintenance practices. I did a really cool project because I'm a respiratory therapist, so sleep hygiene is a big deal for me. And here is a sleep hygiene project for them. And this is actually where it gives you all of the explanations for how to do it. And then the students actually, and I know the format's weird here because once we downloaded it to Microsoft, it changed, but this goes into all of the different things about sleep. And then it gives them the instructions, and then it gives them a rubric, and then it gives them apps to use to track their sleep. And so there's a whole bunch of different extra slides in there they can actually use to make a copy of the slide to present their project. One of the other things is, you know, we all have a big, it's hard to teach CPR in a classroom setting because all you have are the tools to go with the American Heart Association. And you can't have these ongoing assessments and, hey, let me check their understanding of this chapter. It's all just workbook and it's all just their videos. So one of the biggest things I love about this is that Health Center 21 was amazing and gave us a lot of their resources to do for the American Heart Association and CPR stuff. So, and I threw them in here so you would see, these are the things that if you are doing this in alignment with the American Heart Association, you can use Health Center 21. And I did have them labeled very nicely, but I had to change that. So these are all of their lessons. They also have checklists. They also have quizzes. They also have anything and everything you need that's aligned with the American Heart Association to have these ongoing, break it up into sections for the classes. And they have this is all BLS, choking, and pediatrics. We thank y'all for doing that for sure. It's going to be a huge help. And in information technology, we have another project here that is health data collection. These are wearable medical projects. And this is what that looks like. This goes into this slide presentation that talks about what they are. These are hyperlinks that'll take you to these slides. And these are all of the instructions. And there's 5 or 6 templates in here students can make a copy of to actually do their project presentation on here. So anyway, those are some of the things that I really, really love about it. I know there's more, but
Rhonda, we have about 5 minutes, 5 or 6 minutes. So just had a question. Is there anything about EKGs in here? I know that the national standards do not get specific to skills like taping an ankle or bathing a patient. It's more broad foundational standards transferable to many health professions. So measuring vital signs, a CPR, first aid, hand washing. I don't know if you all included anything about EKGs or not.
Okay, so I actually taught certified EKG and phlebotomy tech. And I was actually did part of the classroom stuff for CNA and stuff for years. So I will tell you that because it's not specifically within the standards, I did not put a lot of stuff in there because that's usually, those types of things are governed by the certifying agency. However, I don't see it here, but I do have several online resources that are lesson-based and practice-based that if you want to email your information to Nancy, I would be happy to share that kind of stuff with you. We really kept this strictly to the outline for the standards for general health sciences.
Okay, I'm also putting in the chat if you have questions or if you make a purchase and you find some files that maybe won't open, because when you're dealing with as much content as Katrina and Rhonda have created, we may come across that. So help at healthscienceconsortium.org. You can send those types of things to me. Remember, this is almost like the first edition of a textbook. So we anticipate that there may be 1 or 2 spelling errors, or there may be a file that doesn't open. So we look forward to, it's our goal to please you as our customers and for you to have satisfaction. So if you find things that corrections or edits that you believe need to be made, just send those to help@healthscienceconsortium.org. We've gotten this question a good bit about, is this a per teacher purchase? And it is. We know integrity and is something that we value, and so we price this so that it would be affordable, but it is a per teacher purchase. So if your state is a member, we have 29 states that are members of the consortium, you get the discount price. Or if you're a member of the Health Science Educators Association, which is a $45 annual fee, then you also get the discount price of $350. Otherwise, it's $500. But I don't think you'll be sorry. I think you'll find that these two ladies have created a resource that is going to be so valuable to you this year. So I'm handing it back to you, Rhonda. It looks like we're down to 5 minutes now.
Okay. While you were talking, I just wanted to be showing them this HyperDoc for the integumentary system. It is fully editable to be done with whatever lessons that you would want to change it up for. And everyone looks at that and it's very busy and very intimidating. So what I wanted to show you was, I didn't have it on my desktop, but here are the how-to videos. And this is actually showing you how to go step by step and change that HyperDoc to work for your classroom. That I did it with a screen share. And here's your quizzes and Socrative stuff that I just felt, I wanted to show you that so you knew you're not just kind of getting thrown out there with all this confusing stuff. Let's see. I'm open for questions, but while I'm waiting, I'm just kind of scrolling over some stuff.
Okay, Rhonda, someone asked, what is the download size?
Both of them are zipped files. So when you download them, you're going to want to extract your files, and then you can use those files there, or you can upload them to a Google platform, either way. So they're going to work. They may change a little bit in format as they transition from Microsoft to Google, but it's not going to like mess the whole thing up. You may just see some formatting changes or something like that that's minor, because we were going back and forth between Google and Microsoft with all these documents to make sure there was as little change as possible. Does that answer your question? I don't remember the exact file size because I don't have it in zipped form.
Okay. There was a question about how they get access or how they purchase. And so if you go to healthscienceconsortium.org, you'll see a tab that says resources, and there's this online store. So we accept credit cards, and once you put in your credit card and submit, if your state is a member, it'll automatically give you the discount price. If your state's not a member, you need to contact, and you are a member of the teacher organization, we don't have that built in yet to get your discount, but you can contact that help at healthscienceconsortium.org directly, and we will handle that manually for you until we get our technology uploaded on the back end. We accept credit cards at the online store, but we also understand that many school districts operate through purchase orders. So if you need a quote, if you want to make a purchase for you and the teachers at your school, if you need a quote, you can just send that request to help@healthscienceconsortium.org. We'll create the quote, get that back to you. Once you give us the PO, then the webmaster will automatically send you those. It's 2 download links to get all the content. So it's a one-time download. So we encourage you to save it to your computer and then to a flash drive so that you always have the content. Someone said, how do you know if your state is a member? You can look, we have a directory of all our state members on our website, and I've tried to answer, but Kathy, if you want, I think I answered you, but if you want to put there in the chat, I don't remember which state you were from, but we do have 29 members that are 29 state members. We do take POs. I see that. Yep.
I did have highlighted up here. This is Katrina's baby right here, and it's a virtual career portfolio for them to do. And you just need colors and fonts and pictures and stuff, because I know some guys need to make it look manly. So anyway, this was something I just fell in love with though. And I'm just, as we're talking and answering questions, I'm just kind of pulling other things up that you might can see in there. So go ahead and keep asking questions.
Okay, yes, Michigan is a state member of the consortium. Yes, I see that Katrina put here that they're going to do a 90-minute presentation for our virtual National Health Science Conference, which will be in October. So if you, again, go to our website, you can find out information about that. All the breakouts will be recorded. And so we will give you, if you register for that conference, you'll have access to all that content for a month, because we know that people are getting fatigued with Zoom and screen time. And so we'll make that available as a great professional development experience for you for a month. Alabama is a member of the National Health Science Consortium. The cost of the conference in October is $175 if you register before October 4th, and after that it's $200, but $175. We tried to make that really affordable. Kentucky is a member of the consortium, as well as Wisconsin, yes. Mm-hmm. Hey, we already had a purchase during this during this webinar, so a shout out
to see everything.
To Ms. Sparks and another purchase. Okay, well, remember this is going to be recorded. It's 5:01 now. It is recorded, and so we'll have this available. We have all our webinars archived. If you go to our website under events, drop down box there, and you'll see webinars, and you can go and you'll be able to view this again. And we'll probably do another one of these, maybe after school starts, whatever that looks like, just because the response has been so good. Texas is not a member, Tammy, but if you're a member of the teacher organization, remember you would qualify for the discounts. Missouri is a member, Kathy. All right. Just getting these last questions Thank everyone for being with us. Katrina and Rhonda, we can't thank you enough for all of your hard work. You're famous now. Kansas, you are a member of the consortium. You're famous now, young ladies, and we just appreciate everything that you've done that's going to make life easier for these health science teachers across the nation.
We're so glad. Well, it's been an opportunity for us, and we've grown a lot, and had the best partner ever. So thank y'all for joining in. And I know there's going to be a lot of questions that come about, and you may experience things that if you have a question, just farm that question through Nancy, and she will get them to Katrina and I. And we really hope you guys, there's so much more. There's over 600 files of activities and editable templates in here. Trust me, we haven't seen our families in 8 months. We haven't slept. We're ready to take a vacation where there's no cell phones. So yeah, y'all, I hope y'all have a phenomenal school year, and I hope that this helps to make it happen. So thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate your time.